Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd show you some of my older sketchbooks. These aren't all my old sketchbooks, but these are the sketchbooks from around summer of 2017 all the way up to around the beginning of 2019. These will kind of cover the time before my first sketchbook tour. I do have more sketchbooks than this, but these are probably the ones when I started keeping sketchbooks more seriously, so these are probably the ones that are more worth looking at, but maybe in another video I'll show you my even younger and more cringy art. So we start with this one. This one started in August 2017 and I wanted to start filling all my pages and everything, so that's kind of why I started. As you can see, I've really developed the way that I keep my sketchbooks now. This is a lot different than how I do them. It's a little cringy to look back at. This isn't my art, this is someone else's art. They're amazing. I was pretty inspired by some like anime type styles. Yeah, I was struggling a lot with my mental illness issues, which you can probably see through here. I wasn't very willing to talk about a lot of these things. This is before I had an Instagram and everything. So I just sort of poured everything down on paper. This one and the last one are black and white Copics. I really like the grayscale Copic markers. They're a lot of fun. It's our background practice. Older comic thing I did. It's kind of cringy. Lots of just random stuff. I was really working on getting over same face syndrome. So, you know. These are studies I did from, I think, the Animator's Survival Guide or something like that. A lot of these, a lot of the paper I used in this was pretty crummy, so the drawings have faded off. I was trying to develop some characters, but I didn't really like them very well. Just more event stuff. Five Nights at Freddy's. I always really liked that game. Watercolor. This was around the time that I started trying to incorporate more watercolor in my sketchbooks. I had people teach me how to use watercolor in a way that just really didn't work for me, so I really had to take some time to sort of reteach myself, and a lot of the garbage where I was trying to teach myself is in here, so yay. Figure drawing. Oh, this was Caius. She was a completely different character. I redesigned her for my comic. But yeah, very, very different character, but I still, I don't know. I like the concept for her character, but I don't like the design very much. Their faces were always like so weirdly short, and I really don't like the way I drew noses. Like, ugh. Caius, I always thought that one was kind of pretty. I was doing studies from Michelangelo, from a Michelangelo book that I borrowed. I don't really know why, I just really liked his style. Michelangelo studies, character drawings, vent, lots of vent. This was a self-portrait that I drew of myself. It was the concept of like having an auntie, A-N-T-I, kind of like a Darkiplier or Antiseptic Eye. So this was my auntie. There's nothing in these old sketchbooks is very refined, which is why I don't like them quite as much. Oh man, I did these studies out of a fashion book that I have, and I really like some of the clothing ideas. So yeah, I was doing studies from that and tried to make my clothing more interesting, but it was still pretty silly looking. A horrible color for pants. More clothing studies. I remember being really proud of this drawing right here, just because it wasn't quite as stiff as my usual drawings were. Oh man, this is Ash. He was he was such an angsty boy. I had him designed for a totally different story. I haven't even really finished redesigning him, but I liked this design. I'm probably going to keep a lot of the basic concepts from his design, just make it better. This drawing, I remember when I did this, I was always, I was playing with the concept of a man that looked really pretty from the side, but when he turned toward you, he, yeah, looked a bit like a flounder. Some of this is my sister's art. It's so cute. This was a character that I'd named Jairus. He is completely different from the Jairus I have in my story. The only thing they really have in common is the name. So I recycled names quite a lot. Some event art. This was from a song by 21 Pilots. I think it was called Goner. I listened to a lot of 21 Pilots at this phase of my life. While I was working as a tutor, I had a lot of downtime, so I would draw on extra scraps of paper and keep them and then paste them in my sketchbook. I would do the same thing during class. I would just draw in my notebooks and paste them in here. Working on same face syndrome. As you can see, they're still pretty similar. Ash. I drew a lot of Ash. I love him. More Ash, Caius, character that wasn't mine, school doodles. I like this drawing. That was Ash. It was just a bunch of characters. Character doodles. You can see I'm kind of getting like more dynamic poses, but nothing too exciting. It's mostly just pencil work. Oh my gosh, that's Shale. That's Shale. Oh man, look at, I don't know what's even happening with his ear or his jawline. Ugh. I still like some of the drawings on this page. Like, I like that expression and that one. That one. I might redo that one sometime. One of my friends at the tutoring center, more Ash. Little comic, a sort of backstory sort of thing. I think this was around the time that I was starting to feel a little better. Oh my goodness. More drawings that my friends at the tutoring center did. Drew one of the girls that was sitting there. Now here's, I think I actually stopped being lazy for a couple pages here. These are probably my favorite pages in the sketchbook just because they have a little more color and are a little more interesting. And did some studies from an animatic I liked. This was one of my friends. This was just sort of a guy that I interacted with for a little bit. A gum wrapper that my friend wrote on. And then just sort of Ash and his development from a child to a young adult. Another friend I knew from school. Some Undertale stuff. I really liked Undertale when it came out. Yeah, I really liked this page. Fun drawing. I kind of like that. I might revisit that. Fun drawing. The Santa Claus from Rise of the Guardians. I love that guy. He's so cool. Little figure study. Some sappy garbage. Doodles I did at school. This one I ended up making a painting for Christmas. And this one I've always kind of wanted to revisit but haven't. Doodles. More school drawings. At the time I was taking a full load at college to film my my diploma and my associate's degree, and I was also working a student help job, so I didn't have a ton of time to draw, but I did whenever I could. More ash through here, a little bit of shale. When he was first designed, he didn't have pointy ears. His ear is still a really weird shape there, but he didn't have pointy ears. He was fully human, and he was also very white. So yeah, not a huge fan of his old design, but you know. Oh my gosh, I know exactly who that is. That's Stefano Valentini from The Evil Within 2. I loved that game so much when it came out. I watched Markiplier stream it. Practicing poses, I like that one. I was trying to draw all the characters. My friends and I sort of had this group of characters that we were playing around with. So these 3 were mine, and then these were some of their characters. Sort of a Jairus concept. Old Jairus, not new Jairus. Character stuff. Ash, Caius, more Ash. I liked this drawing quite a lot. This wasn't my character. More Stefano. I thought he was a really cool antagonist in that game. Some figure drawing practice. As you can see, my art was very stiff at this stage. But, I mean, this was 2017 and it's 2020, and I'd like to say I've improved a lot from then. So if you just practice, you will improve pretty fast as long as you enjoy it and are committed to it. I was trying to learn a little bit of like perspective stuff and sort of different concepts for drawing the figure. I still think this is a pretty good study of the human skull. I taped saran wrap over it just so that it wouldn't smudge. More perspective type stuff, an angle thing that I failed, and then I did this like little 2-page comic thing. Another skull study, covered it in saran wrap so it's kind of shiny. I liked some of these drawings. That time when I dated a guy officially for about a week and then realized it was a terrible idea. Another skull thing here. This drawing always frustrated me because this was meant to be 2 eyes and a mouth and then sort of like tear lines going down, but it just looks like an H. That's all it looks like. Some studies of flowers. Bleeding hearts. I really like bleeding hearts. They're probably one of my favorite types of flowers. Ooh. I did some of these ink drawings for my characters. I was trying to do as much as I could to capture their story and personality within one drawing, and I still like them even though there's a lot of issues with the anatomy and just everything, but I did take a lot of time just trying to put lots of detail into these, so I'm pretty proud of those. Practicing armor. I always struggle so much with armor. Here's the other one. This was Jairus' page. I was originally gonna want to do one for Caius, but I never got around to it. Tried to draw a bear. Oh my goodness, these were doodles I did of like Skyrim places. I would like watch videos of people playing it and then pause it and do quick little drawings or paintings from there. I was like that drawing. I thought it was very like loose, I guess. this one too. This was a character I had for a little bit, but I don't even remember his name, so I didn't have him for very long. Doodles, there's some characters. Oh, his name was Micah, that's what it was. There we go. Yeah, as you can see, my same face syndrome was getting a little better, but still needed a lot of work. I did some studies of characters from Assassin's Creed, I think. Just a little bitty comic page. Kind of a ship sinking sort of thing. Lots of character stuff. There wasn't a lot of diversity in the things that I drew at this time. I just sort of drew characters in the same pose over and over and over again. I did like this one just because it was something different. Micah, I think? Yeah. Micah was originally gonna do like a full scene, but who has time for that? Characters. Captain Carb? I don't remember why I did that. Captain Carb and General Garb. Oh my gosh. Why though? I always liked these little pirate doodles though. Lots of anatomy studies. In these sketchbooks, I would get to like the last pages and just absolutely rush through just trying to fill them, which I don't really do now. But yeah, you can see the quality just drop very quickly. This was supposed to be Rey and Kylo. Yeah, just a mad rush to end the sketchbook, and then this. So yeah, finished this December, started it in August. I kept sketchbooks so much more avidly than I do now. Now that I'm drawing on my iPad, it takes me a lot longer to fill sketchbooks, just since my time is sort of divided between digital drawing and traditional drawing. So yeah, here's the first one. And I've already been recording for 26 minutes. Excellent. This is not my art. This is Loish. With this sketchbook, I took a bunch of art that I liked and I Mod Podged it on there. So there's Kim Jung-gi and Audra Claire and Loish. I tried to keep a nice sketchbook. It's very broken, as you can see. For a while I was doing this same drawing in every one of my sketchbooks, just to sort of measure my progress. It's so smudged though. Yeah, very smudged. Another ink drawing. This was meant to be Icarus. Yeah, I remember getting really frustrated really early with this sketchbook with just having pencils, so I think not very far in I sort of switch gears and try to start keeping it a little differently because it's just very like bland. School doodles. Just ugh. And then and then we get to the point where I got tired of this sketchbook and decided that I needed to start keeping it a little less lazily. So you can see I started actually coloring things and that sort of thing. Ooh, what's this? I covered something and taped it down. I must have really not wanted someone to see that. Characters, that's Ash right there. So cute. School doodles. I did this drawing, oh my goodness. Me and my stupid ex were hanging out at the school after I'd got done with my shift at work, and another one of our friends owned a school bus and climbed out and was standing on top of it making fun of us. It was fun. I think this was around the time that I saw, oh yeah, it was around the time I saw The Greatest Showman. I also got to go to one of Markiplier's live shows. That was really cool. Yeah, this was like a paddle thing that you had for the show. Ticket and everything. Character drawings. Oof. This was around the time that we had a false alarm for a shooter at the school that I was at, so someone accidentally hit the switch that set off the alarm that was meant to go off if there was an active shooter on campus. So it was, everyone reacted as if there was a shooter on campus. Everyone thought there was a shooter, so that was pretty traumatic at the time. I think this was based on a song called My Demons by Starset. Really like Starset. So it'd be a fun one to redo. Characters. Event drawing. I don't like this drawing, but I like this song. It was a Missio's song or something. Characters, practicing drawing. Right around this time I ended up having to drop some of my classes because I was really struggling with issues with my medication. So I did a lot of drawing during this time, just because I was trying to fill time and I wasn't doing school. Yeah, lots of event sort of stuff. Love gold ink. It's so pretty. But yeah, I feel like I improved really quickly during this time just because drawing was pretty much the only thing that I was doing. But I was taking medications that made it very, very difficult for me to function. I like that drawing. This is actually, I think, around the time that I started my art account, because this was on it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these were some of the first drawings that I posted on my art account. Probably a lot of them are archived now, but you know. Oh, this is a very early concept of the mother. Her design really hasn't changed that much. I love the idea that I have for her. I can't wait to introduce her in my comic. The mother, really liked how that painting came out. This is one of the pieces that got stolen on my art account recently. It's funny, like, that someone would steal that. Undertale, OCs. Just lots of OC stuff. Ugh, lots of vent. Oh yeah, I think this was another one of the first pictures that I put on my art account, and I think that these ones are actually still up. This was when I got my White Knights watercolor set. I love these so much. They're incredibly pigmented. I'm still using them, and it's been years. I love them. Like, you can see the difference. Like, this is regular, this is White Knights. They're so beautiful. Love them. Figure drawing. Did some drawings of antagonists. Lots of figure drawing. Character stuff. I do like this one quite a bit. Did a lot of drawings of things that I found on Pinterest. Little comic. This one's kind of sweet. Pinterest drawings. Pinterest drawings. Weird page I did based on Doki Doki Literature Club. That is a rough game. I do not recommend watching or playing that if you have mental health issues, because that was rough. Painting with my new watercolors. I redid this one recently for my project ending thesis thing. I've always kind of wanted to revisit this one, but I don't know how to draw spacesuit stuff. And now you can see we've started to get to the stage of the sketchbook where I am rushing to get to the end. Monsters that I had designed. Doki Doki Literature Club. Characters. Pinterest drawings. I Here's some Shale drawings right here. Yeah, this was around the time that I really started to develop him a bit. I wanted to use him, but I took quite a while to settle on a design for him. I think I was on vacation, drew this out the window. Kind of like these drawings, these character ideas. I think this was a study of a person I still follow on Instagram. I don't remember what his name is. Shale drawing. I was playing with the idea of him having violet eyes. You can see he still doesn't have pointed ears. Shale. Still got the mysterious child figures. That hasn't changed about him. Kind of like this little illustration of the heart. Playing with the idea of Shale having a scarred out eye or an eye patch. Scarred out eye. There we've got a little bit closer skin color ear. Ooh, this was when I first heard the song When the Darkness Comes by Shelby Merry. Reminded me a lot of him. There he is. We're getting closer. He's got the gloves, earrings, except I changed the color of those. White Shale. Did not like that at all. This was where I was trying to figure out what I wanted his tattoos to be, because I wanted him to have sort of runes. I ended up going with sort of Nordic inspired runes. Shale. Monster design. I do like drawing monsters even though I'm not super good at it. Shale. More Shale designs. I like this one. This one's kind of sweet. Look, cute. Love this drawing of Shale. I feel like it really captures his personality. It's just a good face. And this was actually really close to the outfit that I have him in now, actually. I was sort of going for sort of like Arabian style clothing for him. Studies. Blah. Mad Rush. Like sort of an early concept for the antagonists in my story. Finished March 2018. Alright, so then we got this one, which is smaller than those ones. I didn't like the paper in this one. Redid that drawing. A little gang drawing. I should do one of these for my current OCs since I don't have one. A little background, ink study. Trying to figure out what the Fae, or in particular Shale's race, the Jinn, what their architecture, I guess this isn't architecture, but whatever. There. This was kind of a more full illustration I did. Like that. Paranoid Shale. Kind of creature designs. It's kind of playing with the idea of the mother, but also being like a spider lady, but that didn't last at all. She's a little more normal. I called her the Dream Witch for a while. Like this one, alright. Watched a lot of FCD design cinema at the time. I was very interested in concept art, so a lot of this is more rough and less illustrative. Like, I kind of like this one and that one though. School doodles, just would draw with their whatever pens they had there and then cut them out and paste them over these, and I think it looks kind of cool. Ink drawings. At this time I was really super into just drawing straight in with pen. I think it kind of helped my like line confidence get better, but eventually I did go back to drawing with pencil instead. Weird thing. Oh, this is Anima. I've drawn her several times on my Instagram. She's one of the creatures from The Evil Within 2. Shale concepts. I think that was Sebastian Castellanos from The Evil Within 2. Must have been re-watching that game at this time. Creature design. Painting I never finished. That was Shale right there. His backstory was a little different at the time. Creature design, that one I actually like. That's kind of cool. Shale, he's not afraid. This was a character that I've sort of drawn off and on named Callum. He's like a sci-fi character, but I haven't really done much of anything with him. He's just kind of fun to draw off and on. Yeah, there's Callum right there. Some venti art. Callum, I think her name was Elba. I don't know who he was. I didn't really develop much of a story. This is probably when my obsession with drawing mushroom girls came from. Yeah, I'm not proud of a lot of the things that are in this sketchbook. It was just one that was very rough, especially since I was mostly just going in and drawing things with ink. Like that particular character drawing. This must be where I finally decided that Shale was a big drinker. Rough stuff at the end of the sketchbook. I think I drew this based on a dream I had. It's rough, but I kind of like the colors. And then the end. So that one, not a big fan of. Then I switched to this little bitty moleskin one, and I hated this sketchbook. There's not a lot of stuff that I like in it. I just tried to get through it as quickly as I could. Did a lot of sort of quick rough studies and things that I wasn't super proud of. I do like these pencil drawings. Yeah, lots of gestural type drawings. Wanted to get through this sketchbook as quick as I could. This was Callum. I kind of like this spread. Gives me a little bit of inspiration for his story, if I ever do anything with it. Little bitty Shale, look at him. Look at him and his grouchy face. I was really working on trying to learn the planes of the face as far as like shading and everything. So, yep. Oh yeah, this was a sort of a like attempt at realism with Shale, but also with attempting to figure out the planes of the face, and his expression is pretty wonky, but I'm still pretty happy with it. Studying the different types of lighting. I've always been like completely self-taught. I never had any art classes until I got to do art classes in college. And that was when I was around like 16 or 17, I think. I like that piece. Hand studies, I kind of like those. I always like over-exaggerating the red under the skin, especially where like the bones are close to the skin. Wow. What was I trying to cover up? Oh, another Shale drawing. Colors aren't very good in this one though, I see. Kind of liked this drawing though. I don't really remember what inspired it. I did a little drawing of a sand dollar too. It's another sort of detailed ink drawing. I think I really gravitate toward ink as a medium. I just think it looks really nice. Just the black and white. Callum redraw, except I don't like that one so much. That was a shale ink drawing. I got a new type of pen, but I couldn't really figure out how to use it in a way I liked. Another ink drawing. Ooh, yeah, shale drawing. He was very, very angular. And then I did a bunch of drawings that were like that. Just, yeah. Wow, look at his face. Kind of like some of these ink drawings, just the movement that's in them. This one was alright too. And then done. So, done with that one. And then got a sketchbook that I liked a little bit more, which was this one. I ate a lot of Smarties then. I don't remember where I got them, but there they are. I think it was at my job. A little Markiplier. I like this sketchbook a lot better than the last one. This was a good sketchbook, even though it was very small. Little shale comic. I like that one. That one turned out pretty. This was a card I got from when I got some Vertigo prints. They're on my wall right now. Oh my goodness. That is the most terrifying shale drawing I've ever seen. I did Scrawler Box for a while. It was alright. Well, that was a little self-portrait of me. It was a shale drawing. Studies. Ooh, Vil art. Yes, I actually wrote down. I think this was a study of a guy's drawing on Instagram, Vil art. I really liked the way that he sort of defined the surfaces with these overlapping lines, I guess. I don't know exactly how to say it, but these horizontal and vertical lines. Yeah, so I was kind of experimenting with that a little bit. Just seeing how I could use these lines to define surface area. Oh, little note I got from my boss. Like one of my first attempts ever at acrylic. I don't really like the medium that much, but I would like to try it some more. Sort of a fun school drawing, little pencil drawing. I was watching Brushes with Bunnies on YouTube and sort of experimenting with some of her techniques. I think this was my concept for a harpy. And then this was a painting that I did, and I really like this. But I need to redo it. Painting I did, just sort of slapping paint on paper and seeing what happened. I was pretty happy with it. Oh, this was one I liked quite a bit too. Just ink. I love ink. Oh, I remember these ones. I did these drawings while I was on the plane to Hawaii. I got to go to Hawaii for, I think, like 9 days, and it was very nice. Swam with a sea turtle. Drew it there really roughly. These are actual, like, real feathers that I picked up while I was there. Just incredible colors for their birds and all their animals. think this was a draw this in your own style that I did. Practicing cardinals. There were cardinals all over the place there. Venti type stuff. I liked this painting that I did. Sort of when I was having a rough time. This was around the time that I watched Detroit Become Human. These are terrible drawings of the characters, but that game is amazing. Yeah, there's Connor. He was always my favorite. I loved Connor's storyline. Drawing I did of Hank from Detroit Become Human. He and Connor were both my favorite. I love them. I think this was a draw this in your own style that RB Illustration hosted, and I really liked doing this one. It's a lot of fun. I was trying out sort of a sci-fi concept for Ash. Another like sci-fi sort of thing for him. I kind of like it, but I have other plans for him. Yeah, oh my goodness, this was sort of a Jairus design a little bit, except he was I don't think that was his name. I don't remember what I named him, but he was sort of my first design for Jairus. Experimenting with pens. I've never been super good at using colored ink. More colored ink and I think some pencil. This was like a thumbnail for a digital art piece back when I was working on my Wacom. I could not make a Wacom work for me. It hurt my hand so much to use and there was no way for me to adjust the pressure sensitivity, so I think somewhere in here I ended up buying myself a iPad Pro. Saved up for quite a while for that. Same drawing that I always do. Definitely Detroit Become Human. It was a real spooky scene. Depression, I guess. Flowers. Ink drawing that I kind of like. This was based on a game, but I don't remember what the name was. Yeah, that looks a lot like Jairus, even though it was for something completely different. I like this drawing quite a lot. Yeah, what was this called? I don't remember what the name of this game was, but I got an iPad Pro. That was pretty cool. Little painting thing. Yeah, I did this based on an Imagine Dragons song. Ooh, this was one of my first attempts at gouache. I really struggle with gouache, but I'm pretty proud of this one. A little fun drawing. This is not what my room looks like, but I would love to have some sort of art room one day. There was Shale and Ash and sort of an idea for a character I had. I didn't keep that. Some more character ideas. Oh my goodness, that's the first drawing of Alani. She looks so, like, scary. Wow, yeah. It's a little different. I think this was more concepts for Alani. Just a little happy painting to finish it off. And yeah. Finished September 4th, 2018. Let's see. The next one I didn't finish because I hated the paper so much. I have to go get it. Here it is. I started using this one, but I ended up stopping just because the paper quality was so bad. A large part of the way through it, I just started using it for thumbnailing my comic. So yeah. As you can see, it was pretty rough. It didn't take any mediums that I liked very well. It would not take watercolor with a darn. Sort of tried to make it work, but it just did not work for me. Oh, that's kind of a nice little drawing of Alani and Shale. But yeah, it works nicely for thumbnailing ideas, but that's about it. Second gouache picture. Gouache, watercolor. Yeah, I was trying all sorts of mediums on this paper, and I just couldn't get anything to work the way I wanted it to. I kind of like that drawing. No, it's garbage quality. Oh, that was a character from, what was it? Detroit Become Human. Yeah, I liked that one. Little comic weird thingy. Lots of practice. Oh, there's Jairus. There we go. Shale. Sort of a character that I never used named Karma. Yeah, I think some of these are on my Instagram account. Just concept drawings of Shale and Jairus. And this was just a bunch of weird stuff, and Kais and Alani. Alani's changed quite a bit. I did like a little doodle of like, I think some sort of Balrog, like what's in Lord of the Rings. Weird painting thing. I was still trying to make this sketchbook work, but you know. Oh man, that was when Mark started playing Red Dead 2. That game is so good. I loved watching him play that. And Deltarune! Oh my goodness. I was so excited when I found out that game came out. That was one of the few games that I actually played myself instead of watching someone do a playthrough of it. It was so cool. I think this was around the point that I was just sort of giving up on this sketchbook. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Mithras. Oh, we got a little like concept of Mithras. He looks a bit different. Although I kind of like this design. Oh yeah. These were pages that I had done to like thumbnail, I guess. I think the comic trailer. Stuffed them all in here. The mother still hasn't changed like at all. This is like anatomy stuff. Yeah, and at this point I'm really just using it for anatomy drawings and that sort of thing. Yeah, I think right around here I switched to a different sketchbook just because this one was really just sucking all of my inspiration away. So that's where it ends, and that puts us right about at 2019, which is where my first sketchbook tour is, which is the first sketchbook that I did and actually toured on this channel. So yeah, 2017 to 2019, I got quite a lot of sketchbooks filled, as you can see, but yeah, nothing Nothing I'm too horribly proud of. But I did learn a lot, and yeah, just goes to show you that you have to be bad at something before you can be good at it. So, you know, if you're ever discouraged about your art, just keep chipping away at it. And I totally recommend that you keep your old sketchbooks so that you can look back through them and see how you've progressed, because I'd like to say that when I look through these older sketchbooks, I feel like I've gotten a lot better from there, even if I'm not super satisfied with where I am right now. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe if you did, just so you can like stick around for more videos. I am aiming to maybe try to make a video weekly and post on Sundays, but we'll see. But yeah, I have plans for new videos, and I hope you will stick around and see what happens. Also, the Mental Health Awareness Month drawing prompt is now posted on my Instagram, so if any of you want to get involved with that this year, I'll have a link to it down in the description box below. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye!